Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. What a thrill, privilege, and honor it is to be seated with you at this time, this holiday season of 2024 as we wind up the year. Are you somebody who has been wondering what you can do to make a difference? Or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and what you can do or what can be done to help you feel better? You are in the right place. I'm Valerie Jackson, the CEO, founder, and creative of this space, Triumphing Over Trauma, Transitions, and Grief, and also the founder of the Voice of New Beginnings, coaching and training. As we wind up the year and we go through our holiday series, I'm always reflective about what to talk about, what can really make a difference, what do people need to hear. When I think about the conversations I'm having, the conversations that I'm overhearing, the things that I'm seeing happening in our society, and the things that are happening online, and what I see in the news constantly, it points to something very basic in this holiday season: kindness. If you are looking to feel better, if you are looking to make a difference in the world, your wallet may be tight, maybe your wallet is bulging at the seams, you may have plenty, you may have a little. It's not about the money. It's about that one small act of kindness. As you know, as a woman of God, the coaching that I do, not the counseling, the coaching that I do is biblically based. It comes straight from the Word of God, okay? And when I thought about kindness, I said, well, God, first of all, what is it that you would say about kindness? What are some things that you want to say? Why is being kind so important? Why does that really matter? And here's one thing that I found. And if you reflect over your own personal experiences, I think that you will agree with me. Kindness is not just for the person you're being kind to. Kindness has benefits that really come back to you. I know there's a song that we sing at offering time, which I won't get into now, but I will talk to you about something that comes from the book of Luke, especially since we are in this Christmas season reflecting on the birth of Christ, the life that he lived, the ultimate gift that he gave. There's a wonderful story in the book of Luke about Jesus Christ and who he is and what all he came to the earth to do. Excuse me while I fix my top. But in Luke chapter 6, verse 35, when we think about kindness, it says, love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great. It doesn't talk about what their reward is. It talks about what your reward is going to be. But if we want to take it further in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs is a book of wisdom. And in the book of Proverbs, we find so many wise sayings, so much wisdom, so much profound advice, sound advice, doctrinal advice, godly advice that will carry you through life when we apply it. And if you look in chapter 19, verse 17, it says, whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. So when you're being kind and when you're lending to the poor, you're doing it to the Lord, because even the scripture says, what you've done to the least of these, you've done also unto me. Think about that in Proverbs. So as you're going about your day, if you see someone who is poor and in need, don't look for the people that can pay you back. Look for that person actually who can't pay you back. Because when you do for that person, you're doing for the Lord, and he himself will reward you. How awesome is that? So we have the biblical doctrine that says, basically if we're kind, your reward will be great. When you do for others, it's going to be done for you. But even scientifically, when we think about acts of kindness, when we think about what's in it for me, the first thing about kindness is not to approach it from what's in it for me. How about kindness? We just do it for the sake of being good. Think of it as your benevolence for the day. If you're walking past someone who's downtrodden, one of my favorite acts of kindness is to simply just smile. I love to smile. Those of you who know me personally, some of you have grown up with me all throughout school, you've commented constantly about my smile and my laughter. It's because God has been so good to me, and the joy of the Lord truly is my strength, even in hardships, even during battles, even in the lows of my life. Some of you know, like, we are just days away from the anniversary of my brother passing, and that was a very, very hard season for me. But it was the kindness and the love of those around me that helped pull me through, in addition with definitely the love of God. But in the midst of that, I was still able to force out a smile. There's scientific research that shows that even if you force a smile, it has the same benefits as a genuine smile. We can talk about that a little bit further. If you want to delve deeper in that, you can reach out to me and I can figure out a way that we can work together to educate you on that. However, some of the benefits of kindness, if you want to take it from a scientific approach, we talked about biblically how kindness can open up the door for God, for the Lord himself to reward you. But scientifically even, we've learned that when we show kindness to others, it increases our own happiness. When we increase kindness, it has the ability to protect against diseases, because as you're being kind, what happens? There's a chemical reaction that happens in our body. There are neurological changes literally that happen even in our brain activity when we are exhibiting kindness, and it helps to protect against stress and anxiety. If you think about how you feel, let's say if you find an injured dog outside, or you help someone go across the street, you might be in a bad mood, but when you go and help that person, how are you left feeling afterwards? If you notice, there's a physiological change that's happening in your body. When you're kind, it actually makes you more attractive to others, because imagine you're going around with a scowl on your face, or you're just looking kind of stoic, but then you take the time to pause, show an act of kindness or love to someone. What happens then is it literally changes the configuration of your face, and it literally makes you more attractive, not only physically, but emotionally. People are drawn to kindness. People are drawn towards happiness. It also promotes empathy in children, and it improves social skills. When you show that kindness to children, this is especially for you mothers out there, for you women who you may spend time working with children. If you're in child care, as a mother, as a stressed out parent who's sometimes getting caught up in the hustle and bustle, we get lost in the holiday thing, and we're so busy focused on making sure that we're buying gifts, that we're preparing the food, that we're cleaning the house, that we have the decorations that look so beautiful. But at the end of all of that work, we are feeling spent and miserable. But I invite you to take the time to blend in kindness with that. Spending time with individuals, spending time with that child in your life, showing them that you're interested in them, instead of just putting up the decorations and going about it. Hey, little so-and-so, would you like to help me with the decorations? No? Okay, what is it that you want to do right now? And take the time to find out what's important to that person. That is an act of kindness. How else can you show kindness? Inviting them in on the task. You can also invite them to lead a task. It might not fit in your agenda, but if it is something that's beneficial, showing that other person that they're relevant, that they matter, and sometimes it may even mean a little detour from your planned activities for the benefit of someone else. Another thing that kindness does, it creates a ripple effect of kindness towards others. Think about those times you've been in the drive-thru, and when you get to the cashier and you get up to the window to pay, and they're saying, oh, thank you, your bill's been paid, the car in front of you paid for it. You know, the pay it forward. How do you feel? So I'm going to invite you right now to just take a moment and pause with me, if you will, and also even put it in the chat. Think about a time where you have either had kindness shown to you, or you took the time to demonstrate kindness to someone else. Why don't you go ahead and, first of all, close your eyes for a minute, reflect on what that was. Imagine yourself, take a time, just pause for a minute. See yourself going through that. What we're doing right now has a twofold benefit. So take the time again to think about a time where either kindness was shown to you, or you've shown kindness to someone else. Now, do we have it in mind? Now what I would like for you to do is take a moment and tell us about that experience. What was the act of kindness that you had done? And how did it make you feel? Or what was the act of kindness that was shown to you? Linda, I see that you're watching. Thank you for tuning in faithfully every week and for your comments. If you wouldn't mind sharing with us in the chat, what is it that you have done for someone else, or what was done for you, and how did it make you feel? If you happen to catch the replay, that's okay. Go ahead and share that experience. Why am I asking you to share the experience? It's twofold. Because if we engage as a community and you share your experience, it may give someone else an idea. And we can spread that kindness. As I talked about, one of the benefits is a ripple effect of spreading kindness to others. So if you share your experience, share the thing that you did, or share something that was done to you, that small act of kindness may be something that someone else has never thought about. And it will encourage them in a way. And when you share how you felt and what you experienced, that's also going to encourage and motivate, and it's going to increase that level of saying, well, hey, if it did it for them, maybe I want to feel that way. But the other part of this exercise is, as you reflect on that, it's going to take you back and you'll begin to relive that, and you'll experience it inside. And it'll increase that joy inside of you, and it will lower your stress. Because after all, we're talking about navigating the holidays, and we want to know those things that are going to work to help make this a better holiday season for you. Right now, we have many things that different people are dealing with, whether it's health, loss of loved ones, memorializing loved ones, anything, different changes, transitions in life that you may be experiencing. So our goal here for this series is to really help support one another, to help us navigate through these times as best that we can, to remind you that there is hope, to remind you that there's joy, remind you that there is peace, and to encourage you to shift from stress to triumphing through transitions. That's why we're here. So if you have any of those, if you have any of those experiences, we would love to hear from them. And I want you to also let me know if going through this, as you began to reflect on those things that you experienced, what happened in you right now during this as you reflected on that event? Did it change how you were feeling? Did it increase your mood any? Because that's what we're wanting to do. We want to make sure that we are working to get ourselves in that good place. What I've found when it comes to acts of kindness, and I'm going to share a quote with you. It seems to me that no matter what religion you subscribe to, acts of kindness are like stepping stones to make the world a better place, because we become better people in it. That's by renowned author Jodi Picoult. She wrote My Sister's Keeper. So if you want to look her up, look at that quote and see what she had to say. I'm going to share it again. She said, it seems to me that no matter what religion you subscribe to, acts of kindness are the stepping stones to making the world a better place, because we become better people in it. As I said, acts of kindness cause a ripple effect. If I show kindness to you, you're feeling enlightened. I'm feeling happy because I was kind, and I'm feeling good about myself. It helps to boost one's self-esteem. It helps to boost one's self-worth, not only to the inside of the person who is displaying the kindness, but also the person who's receiving it, because now you feel seen, you feel valued, you feel loved, you feel cared for. And as a result of that, you are then more likely to pass that on to someone else. Again, we talked about the biblical benefits of showing acts of kindness. When you bless others, it's as though you're doing it for the Lord, and your reward will be great. So I encourage you in this holiday season, when you find yourself feeling bewildered, when you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, when you find yourself feeling down or not wanting to just be joyful. I encourage you to push yourself to do an act of kindness. Force that smile. Say hello to the person who's walking past you in a rush. Wish someone a Merry Christmas. Hold the door for someone. Buy a coffee for someone. Not only notice what it does inside of them, but just as importantly, notice what it does inside your heart and inside your mind. Because those small acts of kindness can go a long way to make this world a better place and show someone else that you care. You heard it first right here with the Voice of New Beginnings Coaching and Training. God bless you. I do wish you a Merry Christmas. I invite you to come back next week for what we are going to look at next. And also, if you are looking to go ahead and make 2025 a better year for you, I invite you to visit thevoiceofnewbeginnings.com. Go ahead and get registered for Envision the Vision. We are going to have a goal-setting vision boarding workshop. It's going to be 1.5 hours long where you will get, skills on how to envision a path moving forward. You will get affirmations. You will receive so much benefit in that. I can't give it all away, but I do invite you to register for the introductory price of $27. You can chart your path moving forward to have a successful new year. Again, it's at thevoiceofnewbeginnings.com. You can go on there. You can pay via PayPal. You can also, if you need other forms of payment, reach out to me and I will share with you how to do that. But I invite you to join me December 28th. It is going to be a live 10 a.m. workshop, Envision the Vision. I also invite you to join me next week for next week's Wednesday Words of Encouragement as we wrap up the holiday series. And then I invite you to also explore the group to look at other messages. Last week's message I didn't put on yet, but I'm going to upload it for you. It won't be recorded live, but I'm going to put that in there so that you still have access to that. Okay, so God bless you all. Be encouraged and have a Merry Christmas. And as we close out, I would love to hear what acts of kindness you have either done or received that made a difference for you. Until then, I will see you next time. Bye.